As National Donate Life Month comes to an end, we want to share the staggering numbers of people in need of an organ transplant. Every 10 minutes, another person is added to the National Transplant waiting list.
Every 10 minutes, 82% of patients waiting are in need specifically of a kidney, according to Donate Life America. News4JAX reporter Amanda DeVoe is joining us now. And Amanda, you have a personal connection to a woman who says her aunt saved her life through a kidney donation.
Right. Denise Dean and Teresa Haywood are my cousins. And for many years, our family has known the story of Denise's journey with the autoimmune disease lupus. When the disease caused her kidneys to fail, her aunt Teresa knew immediately that she would be the one to donate.
Denise Dean has struggled with lupus for more than 2 decades.
It's an autoimmune disease, and it can affect different people in different ways. So your body can attack different organs or different parts of your body. In my case, it was my kidneys that ultimately became damaged.
Damaged to the point where Denise went into kidney failure and was put on dialysis in 2019. She was placed on the transplant list shortly after that, which she says was not only time-consuming, but stressful.
You're either going to a center several days a week and sitting on a machine for hours at a time, or you're doing it at home for hours and hours overnight.
After more than a year on dialysis, Denise still held out hope that someone would be a match, and she didn't have to look far to find a donor.
I just felt strongly that I would be a match for her.
Her aunt, Teresa Haywood, says donating a kidney to her niece was a no-brainer.
Without a question, because of the bond that we have. Denise, it was one on my birthday, and we've always had a good relationship, since she was born. So I just had the faith and had the feeling that I was going to be the one.
As a strong woman of faith, Teresa got a tattoo in honor of Denise the moment she was placed on the transplant list.
Faith, hope, and love. And I had faith that I would be a match for her, hope that everything would go well during the surgeries, and love for the immense love that I have for my niece.
After numerous tests and a close call that Teresa wouldn't be a match, the transplant became a reality in April 2021, the last day of National Donate Life Month.
But people were telling me right away after the surgery, after the transplant, that my skin looked better, that I, had more energy. I was able to just have more life just sort of exuding from me.
Just shy of a year after the transplant, Denise still says she's eternally grateful.
I just felt loved. I mean, it's not something that people have to do. And to know that somebody would go through a major surgery, I'm sorry. There are no words to describe it, because that's literally saving my life.
They hope it inspires others to donate too.
There's a lot of people, a lot of great people out there on the waiting list that can benefit, that can live because of their donation, and I would encourage anyone that can to donate.
And my cousins both want to stress that donors can still live a normal life after giving an organ. And there is definitely a need for living donors when it comes to these types of situations.
I am just amazed that that your aunt was a match, and that 2, they're doing so well. That is a serious surgery, particularly for the person who's making the donation.
It definitely is. I mean, they had some recovery time, but I mean, they are doing well. It'll be a year tomorrow, and I'm sure that they have some plans to celebrate, and I know that they're just very excited. She says she has a new lease on life. And also a fun fact, Denise's father used to work here at Channel 4, engineer.
And we had no idea, right? Until you just told us.
So it is a small world.
Yeah.
So, and he's been a supportive dad as well.
Oh, he has the biggest heart in the whole world, Tommy. He's the sweetest.
And the other thing is, there are a lot of misconceptions about if I sign up to be a donor, that certain things will happen, and if I'm in the hospital and this and that, check those out, because they're further from the truth.
Right,
absolutely. There's so many myths about it that are just not true.
Right. Some people may think, what if I need a kidney one day and I'm giving mine away to someone else? But they really do stress, my cousins really stress that it is important to just step out on faith and just trust that you will still be okay. You only need one kidney anyway.
Right, exactly. And it's so easy to sign up also. You just do it when you renew your driver's license or whatever. It's such an important to think about the impact that you're making on the lives of multiple people often.
Absolutely.
God forbid something should happen to you. Thank you so much. That was such a great story, Amanda. Oh, I'm so glad for the family.